So we're going back to the 80s again, when I was 8 years old. I lay back on my twin bed on top of my strawberry shortcake comforter. I was wearing an old baby bonnet because I wasn't as fortunate as Cynthia and Kenneth to have a real functional bonnet. As wannabe pioneer ladies are wont to do. Stuck beneath my cotton t-shirt was my favorite baby doll. Like most little girls in the 80s, her name was Jennifer. But today, she would have a star turn as Rose, the only daughter of Almanzo and Laura Ingalls Wilder, so named after the roses that grew wild on the prairie. Manly, I shouted to my imaginary husband, Manly, it's time! Manly was unresponsive. And not just because the role was being played by a chair in my bedroom. In case you missed this episode of Little House, Manly was depressed and full of self-pity. He had recently contracted diphtheria, which led to a stroke, which led to paralysis, and now he was confined to a wheelchair. He considered himself useless as a father and a man. Manly, I can't have this baby without you, I pleaded. If you love me, you will get out of that chair. Oh! I moaned just as I had seen the laboring women on TV do. The baby is coming! I see the head! The magic of birth was interrupted by a gentle knock on my bedroom. Kath? My mother called as she opened the door. What's going on in there? Can I come in? I yanked the baby from my fake womb and shoved her under the covers, and grabbed my bonnet and threw it behind my bed. How could I explain to my mother that she'd interrupted my labor when I really didn't even know what labor was? What you doing in there? Asked my mother. Nothing, I answered, placing my hands behind my head and trying to look casual, like the teenagers I saw in sitcoms, who often hung out in their bedrooms alone, listening to their Walkman and contemplating life. Nothing. There sure was a lot of noise coming from your room. I was just playing Little House. It was true, and it was reasonable since Little House was my make-believe of choice. My mother looked puzzled, but could find no evidence of wrongdoing. So she pulled the door partially closed, leaving a little crack. I found my bonnet, readjusted it on my head, and pulled my baby from under the covers. Ever the committed actress, I completed the birth silently. Like a Scientologist. It is quite obvious that Little House on the Prairie, both the books, I had the box set except for Farmer Boy, because no one ever read that, because why would you want to read about a boy when all the books are about boys? And the TV series that influenced me in ways I didn't even know. Spunky Laura Half-Pipe Ingalls was also a middle child, was also often told to quiet down, and was chided for being too sensitive. But surprisingly, it's her daughter Rose with whom I most identify now. And it's not just because we both have a way with jaunty hats. The more I learned about her, the more I realized how similar we are despite being born nearly a century apart. Both of us are often described as prickly. Our feelings and relationships are better communicated on paper than in person. And like me, Rose Wilder Lane was a writer and an editor. In fact, in the late 1920s, she was one of the highest paid female writers in the US, which I'm sure is a paltry sum compared to what the male writers were getting. It was Rose who edited and marketed, and some say bullied and whitewashed, Lauren's manuscripts into the young adult stories we know today. And though my day job spent writing about the glamorous world of dentistry, it's true. Rose laid the foundation for modern libertarian theory with her book, The Discovery of Freedom. Upon learning this, I felt an even stronger kinship with Rose, not because I'm a libertarian, but because the only thing more painful to me than writing about dentistry or libertarianism would be reading a mashup of the two. Rose and I both traveled to places considered strange, dangerous, and off the beaten path. Rose died at age 81 in 1968, 3 days before she was supposed to return to Vietnam for the second time as a war correspondent. She also paid for an orphan to go to college. I drank snake whiskey. See, communism in action in Moscow turned Rose off to the political ideology. I visited Vladimir Lenin's waxy corpse and subterranean subway stations that doubled as shelters for nuclear bomb attacks, and drank vodka. Rose partied in Albania, where she spent several years and was allegedly proposed to by its ruler, King Zog. She later took a young boy under her wing and paid for him to go to Oxford. I drank lots of red wine. Like me, Rose was single for most of her life. Her early marriage and divorce left a bad taste in her mouth, though according to a New Yorker article on Laura and Rose, she lamented that her life had been arid and sterile because she was a human instead of a woman. Have I mentioned she diagnosed herself with depression and a bipolar disorder? Rose Wilder Lane, the original WebMD. So Rose was one of those many women who didn't conform to the norm and didn't really care. And what amazes me is how much the norm has not changed. We're still fighting the same battles. Women are still chronically, woefully underpaid for doing the same work that men do. And even now, it's considered weird and dangerous for women to travel the world by themselves. Women who are single over the age of 35, despite their professional and personal successes, continue to invite the question, what is wrong with you? So I gave birth to Rose Wilder Lane, and she gave birth to a movement on that fateful day in South Carolina in 1986. She blazed a trail like her mother and grandfather before her, but unlike her grandfather's trail, no Native Americans were forcibly removed.